For the rest of our program, we have a call-in show with Chandra, and the call-in number, if you would like to call in and ask Chandra a question, is 703-663-3333. Lots of threes.
Lots of threes.
So what's happening on campus? What do you have to share with us?
Lots of going on. I know I'm catching up also being out. I've been out sick and I don't have the flu.
We're so glad.
Unfortunately, whatever's going around, little bug, I had it for multiple days, so I'm just catching up myself. But I'm so happy to see that we've gotten the parking lot numbered back there next to Town Center.
Yes.
You can see the construction's happening. That bridge is being put in.
That parking lot is really moving.
It's moving. I have to tell you,
For those of you who haven't been to look,
yes,
go and look.
Well, I have a resident who actually stopped by and said, I've been inspecting it, and the construction is going very, very well.
Good.
And based on his professional experience, they're doing a good job.
Well, that's
said,
good.
Okay, thank you.
You know, I'm sure that we have residents who have done that work and who really do know.
So I said, I appreciate that because I'm just watching the pillars go up. You know, it's good to have.
It's exciting.
It's good to have that feedback. And then, you know, the CVS construction has started. I'm excited today that we'll get to open the cafe.
Yes.
So that's
11 o'clock. I think there's a ribbon cutting a little bit before 11.
11, yes. So we're going to do a ribbon cutting just to, you know, it's been a while. We want everyone to get in, and I know we've had some opportunity for people to see.
Wonderful turnout Thursday and Friday for the open houses. I think Corey had a full house during all 6 time slots.
And I love that we did it this way, that it was you know, an opportunity for residents to see. There's some things that we still need to fix. I know monitors and things like that will get there, but I'm hoping people enjoy it. We'll look at the flow if we need to move things around a little bit.
Things will have to be tweaked, I'm sure. Just like when we move into a new house, the sofa doesn't necessarily look good where we thought it would.
Yeah, and so we'll see. And they're getting to know their new space. This is a new space for them, a new cooking line for them.
Right.
It is absolutely beautiful. I love that the windows got in before we opened.
The windows are beautiful.
So it, you know, we won't have the draft and all of that and the noise control. So
I do want to mention that the printed menu says that they're open for breakfast this week, but they are not. They will be open for breakfast starting next Monday, and that is just so that the team can get through lunch and dinner, and then they'll work on breakfast. So next Monday.
That's a very good point, because we'd rather get each of those meals done correctly than to try and open it all together. And this was something that the dining team spent a lot of time going to other community to see how their launches or reopens went, and that was one of the challenges they found, is they opened it up as they were doing business before, but it's a
little too soon.
Yes, it's a different process, different feel.
Yeah,
they have to get used to it. So
it's really exciting, and it's fun to talk with the workers there and feel their excitement.
They're excited.
Those folks have been through, and I don't know how many months or years, so many upsets and so much upheaval. This is one place that's finished.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Between the kitchen closures.
Between the kitchen and
all
the cafe.
That, you know, and it's been 2 years for them, and they have done it with a smile and you know, really strong partnership amongst themselves, and then with the entire team and the residents.
Yeah,
residents have been so patient.
You know, there was in the beginning there was a little bit of upheaval, but they've just understood and go with the flow.
I have to tell you, I am so grateful. I mean, to go through what all of you all have gone through is a lot, and I appreciate the patience.
I think at some point a lot of residents realized, well, this has happened in our lives too, and the world did not come to an end.
No, it didn't. And at the end you end up with something that is nice.
And I think it's good that we're seeing things that are finished, that we're seeing the computer room and the new classroom and the mail room and the bank and the salon. You know, there are things that really are finished. And if you want to get a peek of what's happening in this new CVS, you can go outside and look in through the windows and see that it's a lovely large space.
It's a large space.
Yeah.
It is. It does not look anything like it did before.
No, it's totally different.
So a couple other things that we have going on. You know, we've mentioned the grand opening, but we also have some announcements that we'll make at the coffee. So coffee, we moved the coffee because of the Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's a very good point. The coffee with
holiday,
the executive team will be on Tuesday of next week rather than the usual Monday.
So that will be the 21st of January, and it'll be from 11 to 12 in Hunters Crossing Conference
Two
Center.
changes. One, the date has changed. It's on Tuesday. And two, and I didn't catch that, the time will be from 11 to 12.
11 to 12.
In the Hunters Crossing Conference Center. So show up, because what are we going to be talking
We're
about?
going to be talking about resident satisfaction survey
Great.
results.
That's
So,
good.
yes.
We've been wondering and waiting, and here they
Yes,
are.
we have them.
That's good.
And we'll be talking about kind of what our next steps will be, sharing the top level results as we do,
Sure.
on a regular basis. And then we have a really nice opportunity here that we meet, the council goes through the verbatims with us.
Yes. And the verbatims are the part where we wrote or typed additional information, not just checking a block.
Not just checking block, because when you check the block, that was one part of it. And then the verbatims we like to go through to see kind of what was the thought process or what's going on.
How many pages of verbatims did we have
I think we're at 200, with the extra, I think it's 274-ish,
Okay.
274
But that's
pages.
good. We had the opportunity to give that feedback.
Yes,
That's
and we
good.
go through all of them.
Good.
We go through all of them. I also am super excited to announce that we have some new leadership,
Oh,
and we'll get to introduce them at the coffee also.
you're not going to give us a sneak preview here, are you?
I am. So actually, one of them won't be there because she'll be here on the 20th.
Okay.
But I'll talk about her later, but I'll let you know about Abraham Kaba.
Okay.
Abraham is our practice administrator.
Oh.
So he replaced Crystal Eastep.
Wonderful. I'm so glad we found someone quickly.
Yes. Oh, and we have a great picture of him there too.
Oh,
Well, that's
good.
his ID picture.
Okay. Well, good. Now we'll know who it is when we see him.
Yes. Now, I love the fact he comes with a lot of practice management experience with the Washington Hospital Center.
Oh, great.
He's also been a operations manager, and also has a project management background.
Okay.
Really strong, but missed the healthcare piece of it and wanted to come back. He's got a master's in healthcare administration, and also has a Bachelor of Science in Health Systems Management, which
Wonderful.
is very well qualified, very articulate, very personable.
And his name is Abraham.
Abraham, yep.
Good.
And he is in the office there. We'll have him come to coffee to introduce himself. He did come to our first executive meeting last week on Wednesday. Just really somebody I think that the residents will really build a relationship with.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
And he's hit the ground running because of his vast years of experience in practice
He knew
management.
quickly.
He knew. And a lot of those systems that we have, software and all, he has used in his prior
good.
career. So
Great.
really great. I think it's wonderful to have him come on and be part of our team. And the other one, now this position we've had open for a while, is our director of nursing position. And Aisha Mathis is our new director of nursing. I love to say that because she was interim. She's been helping us out for about 90 days.
So she's staying.
She's staying.
That's wonderful.
She's staying.
Good news.
Yes. So she was at Riderwood for probably almost, I have to say, 8 years at Riderwood, and then on and off in different roles at Riderwood in nursing, and went to be the assistant director of nursing. And that's part of the process with Erickson is to these assistant positions is to build that bench strength for growth.
To grow our own.
To grow, exactly.
Right.
Because what we found as we go through and we do these interviews is people have skill sets, but they don't have our values
Right.
and our relationship,
Right.
the core of our relationship
Sure.
building. So she really brings all that to the table. So I'm so
Oh,
excited.
that is good news.
Now, Aisha's been an RN, BSN, and she has an MBA, so she's very well qualified, very personable.
Good.
We know when we get to share her. She worked at the Lutheran home. These are communities that are very well
So
respected
she's
in Maryland.
experienced.
Yes, in Maryland, and just has come in and just jumped right in.
That's terrific.
We rolled
I think
out.
that says a lot for your search process, that we do find people that can walk in the door and sit down and get to work.
And specifically if they're our own, it's, if they've come from within the company,
Yes.
it's a much better transition.
Sure.
So she came in as the interim, and then we went to electronic medical records entry for medication administration.
Right.
We have always had electronic medical records, but for medications, we're still done in the
By
old
hand.
style of, they would get printed and they would sign off as they administer medications. So she brought that process for us, rolled it out
Good
to
for
all
her.
of Garden Ridge. So she was interim and still did this and supported
And still
it.
did something really that
Yeah,
was
so
a leadership kind of role.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're excited that she'll be in that. She'll be back on the 20th. She's out of the country right now, but we'll be starting,
Okay.
in that role, and happy to have her here.
We
So,
are near the end. We've had no calls, but lots of information.
Lots of
Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, so Melissa and Ty and myself, we will be in Baltimore from this evening. We'll be back on Thursday. We are having some of our regional meetings.
Good.
Great
I know those are
opportunity.
valuable.
They really
To
are.
say, hey, does this happen at your place?
Yes.
Right.
And so it's a good way to go through all of the strategic initiatives for 2020.
Right.
And to have the associate executive directors and the executive directors together, I think it's a great opportunity
Sure.
for them to see and learn,
Right.
and to really build on the skill
And
sets
as
that they
Ty
already
pointed
have.
out when he was here last week, that the positions of associate executive director is a position that is a learning and a growing position.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and it's very interchangeable with the executive directors. And I have to tell you, the construction really changes. Kind of really changes the job.
Yeah.
I did a lot of it I was 2 years at Riderwood, but then, having to factor in the construction
Right.
piece of it, they really got their hands full.
They do, both of them,
do,
and they've
they
done a
do.
great
They've
job.
really- both of them
It's
have, so.
not easy. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
And your foot is still wounded, but it's getting better?
Yes, I took the sling off. I figured, I look like I'm wobbling around, so
But you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Thank
That's
you.
good. Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you at Coffee with the Executive
Yes.
Team.